Crazy God story. There was a man named Lee who was an atheist. Eventually, his wife became a Christian and started going to church and doing all the Christian stuff, and it made him mad. He worked for the Chicago Tribune as an investigatory journalist, and he was used to digging into stories and finding the facts and proving whether or not something was true or false. And he decided to put his skills and years of experience in his job to use and prove that his wife's new religion was false. He set out to prove that what the Bible says about Jesus is false. He wasn't sure that there was a person named Jesus, and even if he did, there's no way that he died on a cross and then rose from the grave 3 days later. He was convinced that there would be historical evidence that proved what he believed, and that as a result of that evidence, his wife would stop being a Christian. Lee was shocked because what he found was that there is overwhelming historical evidence that proves that not only did the Jesus of the Bible live, but that he was crucified and that 3 days later he rose from the grave. The more he dug and looked at evidence, the more it just solidified those things as absolute, irrefutable fact. He actually ended up becoming a Christian as a result of it and wrote a book called The Case for Christ. The entire Christian faith hinges on whether or not the resurrection of Jesus is a historical fact or not. If you have questions or doubts about the historical evidence of the biblical account of Jesus, I'd encourage you to check out The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel.